Previously on Gears.
Oh man, on Disi's Double D's today, we've got a world champion. Very cool world
Very
champion
cool.
as well. Yeah.
Should I start my intro?
Hello.
Hold on a second. We have a world champion on Gears Balls Visual Radio this afternoon. A man who had a most magnificent fight on Saturday night. Of course, Chis van Heerden. Chris, hold on a second there, my friend. Hold on. Go, Disi.
On Saturday night, I was fortunate enough to watch Chis van Heerden fight England's Matthew Hatton at the Sandton Convention Centre. Chris retained his IBO welterweight title when he beat Matthew Hatton on points by unanimous decision. Chris won the IBO title on the 24th of September 2011 when he beat Kaiser Mabuza. He first retained the title against Sebastian Lujan from Argentina in June last year, also winning on points over 12 rounds. Today on Disi's Double D's, we'll be chatting to the champ to find out more about his victory. Hi, Chris.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
We are terrific. How are you doing? And first of all, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm a bit sore today. My whole upper body is very sore today, but I'm very excited and happy for the big win.
Yeah, you know what? We never even asked you in the studio the other day, but I never knew you were a southpaw.
Yeah, I'm a southpaw like my dad. And my dad, for the former heavyweight boxer, also a southpaw. And run in the footsteps. I'm a southpaw as well.
Ah, lovely stuff. Well, listen, it's a terrific achievement. Well done.
Chris, Matthew Hatton
Thank
was
you.
holding and clinching you for most of the fight when you were attacking. Was that frustrating? And had you suspected that he would fight like that?
You know what? It was very, very, very frustrating. You know what? I just proved again. Like I said, I was gonna be too quick for him, and my hand speed. In fact, my hand speed surprised myself. And we were too quick for him. So the first 5 rounds, I was comfortably beating him, and we picked up the clash on the heads, and my eye split bad, and that just changed the whole fight plan. And I couldn't see. For half of the fight, I couldn't see properly through my right eye. It was blurry with all the blood running into my eye. So my whole game plan was thrown off. Standing a chance that the ref could stop the fight, I was more cautious now. But luckily, I caught Matthew Hatton with a left hook. I think it was around 5, and I staggered him. And that slowed him down, and that forced him to hold on to me. And I actually spoke to him afterwards, and he said to me, he knew I was too quick, I hurt him, and he had to hold on, and that was very frustrating.
Yeah, I must say your right eye was bleeding a lot. Were you ever worried during the fight that you wouldn't make it through the 12 rounds with your eye like that, or did you know you'd get through all 12?
Nah, not at all. You know what? I knew I would. You know what? My eye wasn't swollen close, even though it was bleeding and I had blurred vision. My eye wasn't swollen close, so I was very comfortable in the fact that I knew that my corner would handle it. I was only worried that the ref might stop the fight because of the blood running into my eye. And if he did that, the fight would have gone to Matthew's way because it would have stopped it on the Tico. So that was my only problem. But I was disciplined to know that I have to keep my hands up and I shouldn't engage and I shouldn't take chances. And that just changed the whole fight plan for me the last 6 rounds. So unfortunately, because of the cut, the fight didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out.
Chris, I'm glad you brought up a little bit earlier. I mean, because in boxing, you've got to have a really good cut man in your corner. And as you say, if it's bleeding too much, the ref can't stop the fight. So as you say, your whole strategy had to change. Were you surprised that he didn't come at you in a different way?
You know what? I was surprised. I was worried that he was going to come at me in a different way. But like I said, I caught him with a left hook and I hurt him. And he knew. I think afterwards we spoke. He said, "You hurt me." I was staggered, and that must have slowed him down completely, knowing that this man can hurt me. And luckily for that, he didn't come on the way I expected him to come on. And here's the thing with a cut. If it's underneath your eye, you can have a cut as over your whole face. The ref will let it go because it's underneath your eye. But the moment it's on top of your eye, the chances of the ref stopping it's 90% because the blood goes into your eye. Luckily, my corner did a fantastic job to control the bleeding. I saw the cut afterwards. I never expected it to be that big, and it was huge. I ended up having 6 stitches inside the eye and 6 stitches outside the eye.
Wow.
Jeez. Wow.
There was a lot of rivalry before the fight. Does it stay the same? You said you spoke to him afterwards. Does it stay the same after the fight? Like, is he the type of guy that you'd go and have a drink or two with?
Yeah, he's the type of guy you shake hands with afterwards. You know what? In round 8, he looked at me with the ref called us together. In round 8, he gave me a little nod and a little smile to say, well done. You know, I got his respect from round 8. And afterwards, the next morning we had breakfast together.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I said to him, you know what? You refused to shake my hand. I said, can I have a handshake now? And we had a big laugh of it. And he said to me, you deserve a handshake. He said, you were unbelievable. And we shook hands and we chatted a little bit and we parted ways as friends.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. Chris, how does this open up doors for you now?
My doors, you know what, I'm blessed. I'm blessed by Jesus. You know what, the doors are opening so much for me right now as we speak. I've been emailed from America. I've been emailed from Dubai. You know, with a promoter, there's talks of me fighting in front of the Prince of Dubai because they're putting up a tournament, so they want me in Dubai to fight in front of the Prince. So yeah, you know, it's in the hands of my manager and my promoter, but yeah, there's big calls for Van Heerden to fight in the States. And definitely the next fight for me will not be in South Africa. It will definitely be abroad in America.
I was sitting there. I think I lost my voice, actually. I was screaming and shouting and going crazy, along with all the other people who were watching the fight. Does the home crowd advantage play a big part?
Obviously, there's a positive side to it. You know, at the end of the day, if you're a disciplined boxer, if you're a disciplined fighter, let's say I was Matthew, and I fight in another country, you can switch off and focus on the opponent in front of you and know that no matter how big the crowd is, it's me and the guy in front of me. But I have to tell you, this must have been the loudest crowd I've ever been fighting for. You guys were unbelievable. I'm sure your lungs were out of breath. And then saw the next morning, I had an unbelievable crowd. I think it was around 11. All of you guys went, Chris,
Yes.
Chris. You were cheering me on, and I heard it, and you know, it gave me goosebumps. And no, it does motivate you to go and give a little bit more. When you're tired or whatever, it motivates you to just push a little bit more. The crowd was unbelievable. Proudly South African, that's what I can say.
Finishing off, you said that you couldn't wait to have a McDonald's burger when you were in. Have you had that burger, and did you celebrate after the fight?
I had a full pizza and I had 2 McDonald's burgers. I have to say, I had my McDonald's burgers.
Well, you thoroughly deserved them, Chris, that's for sure.
Thank you guys.
No, it's a terrific victory, and of course we'll follow your progress. Please let us know as soon as your next fights are lined up, and we'd love to get you back in the studio.
I would love to be back in the studio, and I'll keep you guys posted, and thank you for having me on your show. It was a pleasure, honor, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks very much, Chris. There we go. South African welterweight champion, IBO champion as well. What a fight, Disi. You loved it.
I loved it.
Huh?
I was
even
so...
with the blood and the sweat. And
Okay, yeah, but when I first got there, and there were fights before Chris's fight.
Yes.
I was a little bit freaked out because there was this guy and he was just getting smashed. Like I didn't know what to do, and eventually it was a technical knockout.
Yes. Did you feel sorry? You want to jump in
I
the
felt
ring?
so sorry for him. I wanted to go and like dab his face and try and help him. But yeah, so then I was like, oh my goodness. And then when Chris's fight started, because also the crowd, obviously more people arrived, and it was such a good vibe. Really enjoyed it. I loved it.
Excellent.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears with Sasha Martinengo on bulls.co.za.